Hello, beautiful human beings. I hope that everybody is doing great. So, in today's very short podcast, very short recording, I would like to share a few thoughts about a particular clip, a particular video, like shorts that I came across on YouTube. And I would like to comment on that video and then to react and to share my thoughts with you about this particular recording. So, it's about a very well known guru. Many of you are familiar with him. And yeah, I'm going to play the video for you so you can listen to it, and then I'm going to share my thoughts about it.
We have seen more sages, gurus, gods who are male. Why don't we see enough women in these roles?
So, goddesses, there are more than gods. Your information is wrong. A lot of them would approach it maybe after they are 50 and they have no hope of being beauty queens, and at that time they may come, a lot of them are coming to us. Gurus, no, women will not make good gurus, nor will men make good gurus. Unless you know how to be beyond the two, then there's no chance of being a guru because you're looking at the mechanics of life in a completely different way. Being masculine, feminine is only question of percentages. So the difference is very little, that this has become a big event in your head. If you must identify with body parts, I would advise at least choose the brains, not these things which make you a man or a woman. So, women will not make good gurus, men cannot do at all.
So, first of all, before I start to comment on this clip, I wanted to share that I'm not familiar with the teachings of this person. I don't know the whole concept of his teaching. So, this commentary and my reaction is not about criticizing anyone's work or saying that they are completely on the wrong path. I just wanted to talk about a few things that I feel like are out of context. So I have listened to this person a few times, not many times, a few times, but whenever I listen to him, it always felt to me that what he was saying about certain spiritual concepts is lacking context. It feels like it is lacking like a basic knowledge or almost like not having that centeredness on which we can build a higher level of spiritual knowledge. And this is very much the case with many New Age gurus and many New Age teachers. So I'm not 100% sure what is that is missing from his teachings because I never followed his teachings. But I can comment on this particular clip and then I can say what is missing in my opinion there and what is a problem with the teachings in this clip. So first of all, there are a few things that I agree with, like when he's talking about gods and goddesses, and he's absolutely right about goddesses being maybe even more. And the earth and in our human history, we maybe had more female teachers and female goddesses than gods. So I like what he's saying about that and I completely agree on that. However, what he is saying afterwards about men and women and feminine and masculine energy are a little bit out of context. And if we are not totally understanding the human history and the history of our origin and the human evolution, the spiritual evolutionary process and the organic evolutionary process of humanity, then these teachings can be very dangerous for us. I'm not sure if he's doing it on purpose, but I definitely can sense like a certain distortion in what he's saying, and I'm gonna explain why I say that. So first of all, the feminine energy is very, very important when it comes to the human evolution, because entering into the evolutionary life stream of humanity is only possible through the woman's womb. Actually, a very early civilization of humanity was a matriarchal civilization before we entered into this patriarchal age, which is the post-Atlantean epoch. So the patriarchal age has started to form, has started to be created during the Atlantean epoch when the human intellect was formed. And before this happened, there was this matriarchal civilization which ended with the descent of the Great Mother. So with the descension of humanity into a more like dense form. So humanity got denser and denser, and that happened in a very conscious process. Many ancient texts are referencing this actually. And that was a cosmic impulse that happened, which started to materialize into exalted female teachers that came to assist humanity. It materialized in actual human forms. And these females were called goddesses in earlier days. So some of the first teachers on the earth were actually women who gave humanity the template of what humanity truly was, so it could connect to higher dimensions. Because at that time, humanity was focusing on survival only, so it was given through unconditional love, the unconditional love of the mother, the template to awaken and to rise from this animalistic survival mode. So the divine feminine impulse was an initiating force back then. And the unconditional love of the mother was also an initiating force. And I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about that. That is what is up to this day. That unconditional love of the mother is an initiating force. And that is why no human being can survive this live stream. And no human being can really enter into the live stream without being developed in the human womb. So without going through and being born through the human womb. So we cannot look at the feminine and the masculine principles only from the perspective of genitals, as he is saying in the videos, and only from the perspective and the differences in body parts, which he's basically describing in this short clip. That is an extremely materialistic view of femininity and masculinity. Because the difference between the feminine and the masculine is not only a question of percentage, as he's saying that. It's a question of cosmic impulses. Of course, there are percentages there, but it's a question of cosmic impulses, of cosmic energies and frequencies as well. So what we are witnessing now is the downplaying of these energies, of these masculine and feminine energies, and especially the feminine impulse. Because according to this scientific materialism on which today's society is being built upon, you can replace the feminine with the masculine and vice versa anytime just by changing your body parts or modifying your genitals. And according to this materialistic science, and then what is very weird about this person's teachings as well, this guru's teachings, is that it's trying to propagate the same idea, but in a different package, like giving it a more spiritual nuance, more like a new age nuance, saying that, oh, the difference between feminine and masculine energies and men and women is only body parts, and that is not true. So according to this scientific materialism, just by changing your body parts or modifying your genitals, you can replace the feminine with the masculine, and you can reproduce and create offspring by removing the feminine from the planet. And that is absolutely false. So we have to be very careful with these almost subliminal teachings of these so-called gurus, and we have to be able to read in between the lines before we are adopting any teachings. So if you are able to read in between the lines, you will realize that something is really off about this spiritual perspective. And this is not even a spiritual perspective. Like, his perspective is absolutely materialistic. And he's also mentioning the brain, that rather than focusing on body parts, you should focus on the brain, which is again is the basis, focusing on the intellect, on masculine energies, is the basis of the scientific materialistic ideology and teachings. So he is telling us the same idea that the World Economic Forum is selling us, but just in a different package. So I just wanted to mention this thing and then to talk very quickly about that. And again, this video and this reaction is not to criticize anyone's beliefs, because spirituality essentially is about finding your own truth. But I just wanted to share with you my thoughts about why I think and why I feel intuitively that the teachings of this particular guru are lacking a lot of context. So this is my personal opinion. We have to be able to read in between the lines. So yeah, we need to be able to use our discernment, and this is the way to develop discernment, to connect to our hearts and intuition, and to feel into that, to feel into the teachings, and not to only pay attention to how the teachings of the New Age or the teachings of certain people are making us to feel, but also to observe what is that is being activated in us. It is making sense on a heart level. Does it resonate with our core, with our true essence? And then it is making sense intellectually as well, or it feels like there's something off about it. So this is what I wanted to suggest you to all of you guys when you're listening to any teachings. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments. If you have anything to share with me, please do. Thank you so much for being here. And if these type of podcasts or videos are something that you would like to hear more, or you would like to watch more or listen to more, then please let me know. So again, thank you so much for being here. Take care, everybody, and I cannot wait to see you next time.